So yesterday, same we discussed about the delta merge and save point interval, right? So what is mean by delta merge? So anyone can give some idea what is mean by delta merge? So delta merge is the concept, right? So all the data is residing into the main storage. All the data residing into the main storage and delta storage. So if the transaction is committed, once the transaction is committed, then once the transaction is committed, same data will be moved. Same data will be moved to the DS to MS. That is the concept of the delta storage. When the data will be moved means when the time of when the time of so when the time of when the time of committed data, once the transaction is successfully completed, then it will go. Then the transaction is successfully completed, then it will go. So and also we see data is residing into the main memory means here you can see now in this host, in the Linux host, you see only HANA database is up and running. Only one HANA DB is up and running, which means so you can see HANA usage space is very high here. HANA used space is very high here. Why? Because only in the HDB database, only HDB database, only this is up and running. So that is the reason you can see the used space is 11 percentage, 11 GB. That is the used percentage by HANA database. 11 percentage it is used. So that is what we discussed. That is what we discussed. Now let's try to add. Let me show you once again how to add systems to the here. How to add systems to here. Okay. So just open the HANA Studio in your desktops or in your laptop. Just open HANA Studio. Okay. You have the HANA Studio, right? Just open the HANA Studio, right? Just click on the open HANA Studio. Just click on just launch. Okay, here you will see the add system left side top. Just click on it, enter the host name, you can enter the your host name is our host name is SAP Linux. So this is our Linux host name. SAP Windows is our Windows host name. SAP Linux is our Linux host name. What is the instance number? It's a 00 we have given during the installation time, right? So what is our 20 database name? HDB, right? What is the system? Then password. So London 2023. This is the way. So we have to add it. This is the way we have to add the systems to the HANA Studio. So next system we have to add it. 1080 we have to add it, right? System cannot be reached. Logon data could not be used. So which means cannot access the host. So something wrong here. So sometimes you will get this type of issues. So system cannot access. So which means these parameters are wrong. So these parameters are wrong. Maybe you can use IP. Sometimes we have to use IP. Okay. Sometimes we have to use the IP. So let's see whether you are able to connect to IP or not. Yeah. So obviously you won't connect it. Obviously you won't connect it. Why? Because sometimes you may face this type of issues. So in this case, there is a firewall in the line system CTL. Okay. Firewall. So stop. So firewall D. Okay. Firewall D. CTL stop. Okay, this is the command. Okay, so here in the Linux there is a firewall enabled. So that's why I'm disabling that firewall. Now you can able to connect. Now you can able to open HANA Studio. Now you can able to connect it. So now you can connect it. Why? Because you can see here. Just if I click on the button, now you can connect it. Right? So why this got happened? Because of the firewall rules at Linux level is blocking your access from Windows here Rama Studio. So that is the reason you are unable to access. Now I disabled the firewall, then you are able to access. Now you are able to access. So that's why whenever in your organization, when you are facing this type of issues, check whether you have the firewall issues or network issues, anything is blocking your access. So you need to check that one. Then you need to fix the issue accordingly. Now I added, right? Now I have added the system both tenant system DB and tenant DB I have added here, right? So at the same time, coming to the our topic, we are discussing about the overview tab. So in the overview tab, we can see the all the overview, just a glance. So glance of the entire HANA database here we can see all the status of the all the services and alerts, disk usage and memory usage, everything we can see here, right? So then version, all the information. And also we can also see the status of the all our other services, all our family members. So these are the family members, right? We discussed it. Index server, name server, preprocessor, web dispatcher, access engine. So compile server, daemon. All these 7 are the family members. So who is the master in the index server? Who is the main process in the index server? Who is the main process in the index server? Okay. I hope you are able to hear me my voice, right? You can hear me, right? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, I will tell the answer. I will only ask the questions, then I will only answer the question. Okay, no problem. So, who is the master in the tenant DB means index server? Then who is the master in the system DB? Name server. So name server. So name server is the master for system DB. So they will ask you questions sometimes. What is the main process in the tenant DB? What is the main process in the system DB? Main process means so master. So we will tell like main process, or sometimes they will ask who is the master. So you have to answer like that. Okay. So here we can see in the landscape tab, we can see the process and everything here. If it is all are green or not, if something is red, immediately system throw the alerts. Suppose example, so we know we already discussed about the responsibility of the each and every process, index server, name server, preprocessor, web dispatcher, access engine, all these things we discussed. And daemon also we discussed, right? Regarding the daemon also we discussed. Daemon is the one of the process. If any process out of these 6 process, if any process is red status, immediately it will start it. Same example, I will go and stop the, I will go and stop the here. I will go and stop the, suppose like here. So everything we have to do it from the system DB only. Okay. So everything you have to go do it from the system DB only. So here what I will do, here in the system DB, we have the 5 process and remaining 2 are in the tenant DB. That is what? Same tabs, same administration for the system DB, tenant DB. Okay. I'm killing the web dispatcher. Means I'm stopping the web dispatcher here. See here, I stopped the web dispatcher here. So it came to the red status now. So after the few minutes, what exactly will happen? Daemon is mummy, right? We will call it as the mummy. So this mummy will go and try to start the daemon, right? Automatically. Yeah. Now you can see automatically the web dispatcher came to so started status. Web dispatcher in the now green status. Then who started? So it's daemon process. So daemon is mummy. So if any process is going down or if process stopped status, immediately daemon will give boost to that process, will try to make it running. That is the work of the daemon process. Okay. Same as like name server. Name server is the topology. So host name, SID, instance number, that type of information it will hold it, right? So that is what we discussed. That is what we discussed. Immediately we have restarted, right? So that's why you can see the start time. So 9 p.m. So 9 p.m. Database restarted at 12 p.m. So now it's 9 p.m. So now after 9 hours distance, we also, so all the information will be tracked here. So what is the memory usage it is using? So here index server is the main process. All the data is residing into the main. In the database level, data is storing means in the index server only the data is residing. So that you can see the memory usage for the index server is very high here. Memory usage for the index server is very high. Okay. So that is what in the landscape tab. Alerts. So in the alerts tab, the alerts, errors, issues that will be triggered here. That will be triggered here. Suppose if you want this alerts to your inbox, so there is an option to configure. Here you can configure the mail address, sender email address, from where you should get the email from hdb dot. So my company .com, then SMTP server. So you have to use the SMTP server in your organization. You have the every SMTP server. You have the SMTP server. You have the SMTP server. So maybe I can use one dummy SMTP server. Okay. Recipients. So recipients, modify the recipient. Who should receive the emails? Suppose I should receive the email, right? Then I have configured my email ID. So then our team should receive the email ID, basis team, SAP basis at suppose my company.com should receive the email. Then I have configured. So which means if any alert generated here, if any alert error generated here, immediately it will come to the your mailbox. It will come to the your mailbox. Immediately it will come to the your mailbox, right? This is the way. So system will throw the alerts. So if any alert generated, why? Because 24 hours we cannot be in the same HANA studio, right? We cannot keep on checking, but we will get the emails, right? Emails we can check it out. That's why people will configure the email address here. So you have to go to the alerts tab. There click on the configure. Then here you have to type the sender address. So recipients you have to type it. Then click on the OK button. Then from now onwards, if any alert generated, you will get the, if any alert generated, you will get the response. You will get the email to your email box. You will get the email that will happen in the, so here. Okay, alerts. So the next one is the performance tab. This is what, so up to here we discussed in the previous class. So now performance tab. It's a very important tab, the performance tab. So what is exactly this performance tab here? So in the performance tab, normally in the database level, if any issues, performance means system slowness, system behaving very worst. So like that, this is a performance issue. My system is not behaving correctly today. System is very high CPU usage, very high memory usage. System is slow. System is stopped. This kind of things we can find out everything from the performance tab. So in the performance tab, you can see threads, right? And sessions. So whenever you log into the system, there is a one session will be, session manager will allocate the one session to you. For your session, I logged in through ECP ADM. Then what is my IP? Then all the information will be tracked here. Okay. So what I am doing here, how many records I fetched here. So all the information will be tracked in the performance tab. How much memory? What is the network traffic here? So all the information will be fetched from here. So I logged in at what time I logged into the connected system HANA Studio. So 9 p.m. I connected here during the class time. Okay. So my session is still running here. So which application HANA Studio you are using? So like which user you logged into the system? What is the database user you connected, right? What is the host name? What is the IP address? What is the process ID for your HANA Studio? What is your process ID? Which statement currently you are executing? All the information will be tracked in the performance tab. So we cannot say like, no, sir, I have not logged into the database level. I have not done anything. But if you open the performance tab and if you go to the sessions tab, then you will see the all the sessions. Sessions means who are connected to the our database, who are logged into the our database, whose session is active, who are running what, exactly all the information we can find out in the sessions tab. Each session, so you connected here, then you are opening the multiple tabs and everything. Then multiple threads. Each session will allocate the multiple threads, multiple actions you are performing, right? Sometimes you are opening the blocked connection, sometimes you are opening the on a landscape tab, sometimes you are opening the volumes tab. You are opening multiple tabs and multiple actions you are doing. So which means multiple threads will be allocated to you, multiple threads. So all will be connected to the index server only. Why? Because data will be in the index server only. So that's the reason. So it will use it. Now what you are doing? You are checking the threads. You are checking the something here. So that's why select the statement is executing here. Now statement is executing. So each session will generate the multiple threads. Suppose for me, one thread, for you, two threads, for different person, 4, 5 threads will allocate. Why? Because the person, if he is doing multiple actions, activities, tasks, then each session there is a multiple threads will be allocated here. So here we can find out what exactly that person is doing here. So what exactly is doing, how much time it is using, which statement he is using, why, what is the use, which one is using. So all the information we can find out from sessions and threads tab, right? Next one is the blocked the performance tab only. We have all blocked transactions. Sometimes the transaction will be blocked, deadlocks will occur. We see it in SM12, right? SM12, if you go to the SAP level, SM12, we have locking mechanism. In SAP level, we have the locking mechanism, right? Same as like here also, the blocks will happen. The blocks, deadlocks will happen. The transactions will be locked. So the deadlocks means, so let me show you here what is mean by deadlocks here. So deadlocks means, suppose, so this is the one of the table, this is the one of the record here. Okay, this is the one of the table and record. So I am the one person, this is I am the one person, I'm trying to access the same table and same record. The same time one more person, he don't know whether I am logging. The same time he is also connected and trying to edit the same table, same columns he is editing. Then the transaction will be blocked here. Why? Because you are also doing the same thing, this person also doing the same thing, then system will not allow the changes. Why? Because due to the some inconsistency. So first in first out, like first person who logged into the system, then who opened the table, not only logged into the system, then who opened the table to the changes, then it will allocate that request to the table. Then once that person is completed, then next person will open the table for changes. Then he can add the records and something, whatever he want to do, he can do that one. So while he is doing something is blocked, then that will be recorded in the blocked sessions tab. So what is the blocked transaction ID? What is the blocked connection ID? What is the remote ID? Who is the owner? Who blocked this transaction? So sometimes our transactions will be blocked. Why? Because in IRCTC, so I am also doing this is on IRTC server. You open the IRTC server, S4 berth. So through sheet number 36, you are trying to book it out. Same here also, this person also trying to open, trying to book the seat. But one seat, how this both persons can book it out, right? So during this time, your transaction will be blocked. Transaction will be blocked. So it's not possible. Now we can see sometimes, right? In our day-to-day issues, when you're booking the tickets from Redbus or IRCTC, whatever you're doing. So at the same time, you want window seat, you are trying to go and pick the ticket and do the transaction. Before itself, one more person will do the transaction. That seat will be not be available. Then you will get the message, right? The window seat is not available for you. This already booked or something like that. We will get it out, which means before you itself, other person is already booked, right? So That's why we see the some blocked transactions, some blocking transactions. There we can find out the all the blocked transactions. Normally, the entry should be here. So 0, 0. Why? Because nothing, no blockages. The blockage is there, then we have to clear it. If nothing is there, then we can ignore it. But most of the things here, system is slow or ANA is behaving very worst. ANA, you are unable to log in, which means so you have to come to the performance tab. Then you need to check the issues here. Which user is causing the issue? Which user is trying to execute the long statement? So everything you need to find out from the sessions and so threads tab. You need to find out sessions and threads. You need to find out the information. Okay. The next one is the SQL plan cache at the same time. SQL plan cache means cache. First of all, we should discuss about the cache. What is cache here? Cache is one of the temporary storage area. Temporarily, it will store the some data. Simple. Temporary, it will store the some data. So, means SQL cache means all SQL statements, the most frequented executed SQL statements will be recorded in the SQL plan cache. Simple. Will be recorded into the SQL plans. By seeing this one, so which user, who executed, what statement, how many test statement, how many times they have executed. So all this information. So how much time, how much open time, all this information will be recorded in the SQL plan cache. Right? Update statement. Oh, this is update statement. This is select statements. So this is the procedure statements. So each statement, which user, how many times in the system wide, so executed. It's kind of most frequented SQL statements will be stored in the SQL plan cache. SQL plan cache. Just it will store the data. Next one is the expensive statements trace. If any statement is long running, you want to trace. Suppose if I take here, I want to track this person. So something is running here. See here. So this ECP ADM user with systemdb user is using one statement which is consuming a lot of memory. So then I want to track what exactly is executing. Then right click, just to copy the configure the trace. So you can configure the trace. Then the trace is active now. Then go to the XPL statement trace. Then that will come to the here. So okay, the statement, the trace which you are active. So in SM01, sorry, not SM01, in ST01, ST05 SAP level, we are enabling the trace, right? Same way, here also we can enable the trace for the database. That is the SAP level trace. This is the database level, we can enable it. Job in progress. If any job is in progress, so that jobs will be displayed here. In SM37, here, job in progress. Database level, if any job in progress, we can see here. What is the schema name? Who is the job name? What is the job name? What is the connection top? All the information we can find out here. So normally, all this should be blank. Only the sessions and threads will be increased. It will keep on increasing. The sessions and threads will be keep on increasing. Why? Because here users will log in means more sessions will be created. 100 users means 100 sessions will be created. So which means 100 plus threads will be generated. Why? Because one user I logged in, you are only opening one tab. No, right? You are opening multiple tabs, which means multiple sessions, multiple threads will be allocated to you. Multiple threads will be allocated to you. This is the concept of the performance tab. Okay. So any questions? Only the performance tab is very high. Why? Because in the under the performance tab, we have the many sessions, many tabs are there. So what you need to remember here is you need to remember the threads and sessions. So these two are very important to remember. Okay. So where can I check the sessions? Performance tab. Where can I check the threads? Performance tab. Where can I check the blocked transactions? In the performance tab. So all these two you have to answer it. Right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next one is the volume tab. Volumes tab means our file systems, OS level file systems, data and log volumes. We discussed, right? Data and log volumes. So these are the file systems. Even though data is residing in main memory, physical memory, but one more copy of the data is storing into the data volume and log volume. So we should take care of, so how, what is the total size of the data volume? So how much it is the free, all this information we can find out. Total size how much, and what is the user size, and currently user size is 64 GB. What is the path slash not data? This is the slash not log. So currently in which log file it is writing, it is backed up, which is writing and backed up. All the information we can see in the, so here all the information we can see it from here. How much currently it is using, user size, total size, user disk size. So in the memory, how much it is using, the disk currently how much it is using. All the information we can find out from here. Just to volume tab. Volume means your storage status. So instead of going to the your operating system level, instead of going to your operating system level, then executing the df-h command to check the what is the status of the my file system slash not data and slash not data and slash not log. Instead of checking this one, you can just use this command to get the information. So to get the information. So to get the information, instead of this one, we can use what is the status of the my data volume, my log volume, how much free space it is used. So all the information you can find out. All the information you can find out. Dragging information portal. Installed. Okay, all the information you can find out from the here. Okay, so this is the, so this is the way we can track it. This is the way we can track it. So now you can see here, so same we can monitor from here as well. You don't need to log into the data OS level. Just you can log into the HANA Studio. You can monitor the memory utilizations. Here also we can see, you can monitor the CPU utilizations, memory utilizations. You don't need to execute it. If you log into the HANA Studio, sometimes you won't get the access to the operating system level. So in this case, you can monitor everything from here. Okay, so you can monitor from here as well. You can monitor from here as well, right? So in the here also you can monitor the session. Sometimes some organization they won't provide the access to the operating system level. In this case, you will get the only access to the HANA Studio. Then how can we monitor the CPU, memory here, disk? These are the very important CMD, CPU, memory, disk. Disk means storage. So storage we can separately, we can check the volume status. In the overview tab also, we have the disk usage here, memory and CPU. All this information we can track from here also, right? This is the volumes tab. Okay, volume tab. So the next one is for the, you understand, right? Nothing we will do here. Just we will see status here. So total size, used size. Total size is okay. User size is okay. If the 90% above, we need to start increasing the space here. Just we need to observe the space is getting increased or not. The space full, what happens? If it is 100% full, there is no free space. What happens? So HANA will be locked. HANA will not commit any transaction. Then save point will not occur, right? Save point will not happen. Then HANA will be locked. HANA system will be loaded. So HANA will be stopped. This kind of issues we may face it. So always we need to check every day. We need to check the whether we have the enough free space available or not. We need to check it out from here, right? This is the status of the volume tab. The next one is the configuration tab. It's a very big, like it will take time. Meanwhile, I will tell the system information. Okay, system information. It's a very simple tab. So here to here, only up to here, configuration is a very important tabs. Okay, so overview, landscape, OLA, voila, PVC, voila, PVC, like that you can remember. Okay, so OLA, so voila, landscape, alerts, performance, so value and configuration tab. System information. So no one asks you. System information is for the to getting the reports from the system. Suppose I want to check the blocked transaction. Right click and execute. Then you will see the blocked transaction report here. Just report only. This is only for report. Just blocked transaction report. Here nothing is there. So if you want to go, just you have to go to the performance tab, go to the blocked transactions, then you need to find out the information from here. No. I want to just I have only so I want to get the information from here. You can I want to check the connections, how many connections how many connections. So just right click on execute, then you can see the information from here. How many connections are system currently in there? In which connection is highest running? This is the connection. Who is this user? Who is this user? So system user currently using. What is the ID? This is the ID. So all the information we can track it here, right? All the information here you can track it from here, right? This is the one. So I want to check the delta merge analysis. Delta merge. We discussed it, delta merge. I want to check the status delta merge, whether it is happening or not. You can see the delta merge here, everything happening or not. To what time, what minute, so everything, all the information will be so tracked here, delta merge status. So I want to check the overall workload here, execute, then you will get the report here. So overall workload, so here execution count, so then commit count, rollback. Now I want this report my manager, then you can download to the text file or HTML file, you can download it, you can send it to your manager. We have the option to save it, save as file. Okay, you can save to them. So like that, system information. In the system, if you need some information, you can track from here. I want to check the size of the tables. Size of the which tables are there in the disk. This is the table name. What is the biggest table? What is the second biggest table? Top 10 tables I want to find out. Then you can immediately pull the data from the system. Just you can copy, save it, you can send it to your manager. So this is the way we can get the data from the system, right? So suppose if you want to find out, you need to go where to check the tables, list, top table, calculation, everything. It will take a lot of time, hell lot of time. Just if you right click here, just click on the execute, immediately you will get the response from here. This is the top tables in your database. These are the table names. This is the occupied size currently, right? So all the information we can find out. I want to see the transactions. What are the transactions which are open here? So currently these are the transactions which are open status here. Which user, what executing. So all the information you can find out from here. All right. So here you can find out. So in your system, you need something, then you can find out from the here. Okay. Some reports you can find out from the system information. Okay. The next one is the diagnosis files. So tomorrow I will explain this configuration, diagnosis files, trace configuration. These three tabs tomorrow we can finish the HANA Studio administration. Then we can discuss about the OS level file systems. Then we can discuss about the next topic is the HANA backups. Then restore, refresh, okay, HANA upgrades. So all this information we have to discuss. Okay, these are the topics pending. Okay, you have to practice everything. So previously we have opened the expensive trace, right? The trace is active, which means whatever you are executing, that will be tracked here. The log file will be created here. In the diagnosis files, the log file will be created. So these are the logs. In the work directory, in the SAP level, we have the work directory, how to check the logs of the dialog, process, BTC, update, dispatcher, ICM, everything we will check in the work directory, right? Same as like in the diagnosis files, we will check the logs of the each and every process we can. So each and every process we can check it out. Each and every process we can check it out from here. Each and every process we can check it out from here. So suppose I want to check the index server trace. Just open the index server trace. You can see what exactly happening with the index server, how the data is loading. So all any errors, we need to check it out from here, right? So this is the information. Okay. So before that, okay. So just to I want to explain about some interview point of time, how to prepare. So how to prepare and everything. I would like to explain that one, right? So